You can't turn it up one. Anyway, just a quick reading, really quick. I did hear some stuff on the news tonight that just blew me away. And I know, I guess, since I don't watch Fox News, they've already been pushing this stuff to all the right-wing radio programs and news and everything else, that they're not turning over any records from the White House to Congress. That they're just refusing to give any. And I'm wondering if they're just refusing to give any of them, if they're busy going through them and destroying them already. I wouldn't put that past anything going on in there. Maybe just going through to see which ones they're going to let slip through the cracks. But I don't even think that, because I think he thinks he's so far above the law that he just so far above the law that, how about that? Something flew out of there. That he doesn't have to put up with any of this. But I'm just going to do a quick reading on the White House, Trump, and what's going on between till the end of this month. From now to, so this is what's going on with administration between now and the end of this month. This is March 20th today. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what's happening here. That looks like that shows almost that whole thing. That's cool. Looks like a good way to do this. I'm always trying to figure out how the best way to set this up. So we're going to set up the base of this. Boy, they are feeling trapped inside the White House. They almost feel like they're totally surrounded, but they still think they're smart enough that they can get out of there, and they have enough prestige that they don't have to listen to what anybody else says. Woo. But the obstacle to that is the death card. They're going to have to let this information out, even if it goes to the Supreme Court. And as crooked as that stuff seems to be at this particular time, I still have a feeling if it does go clear to the Supreme Court that it will go that it will be ruled in the favor of Congress. And the foundation of this reading is justice. It's a hero plant. He's usually Mueller, but I don't feel like it's Mueller particularly in this reading. It's just justice. It's a hero plant. It's our government. It's justice. That's why I was going to do this reading and ask if it did go to the Supreme Court which way they would rule, but I can already tell you by the second two cards that they will rule the right way, that they will rule against Trump if it goes that far. And that's what they're saying. They're saying that Congress is going to have to subpoena them, but even when they do that they're still not giving up any of this information, and they're trying to make it a divisional fight again. Instead of about democracy, they're trying to make it a fight between the Republicans and Democrats. They're already putting all this stuff out to their right-wing stuff, like it's two teams playing football or something instead of a country fighting for their life. And the past influences on this is theft. That's what they're afraid of. They're scared to death that they're going to learn all the crap that's gone on, and all this thievery and all the loss and all the selling us out to other countries is going to happen if they have to turn over these papers. Because I don't know if the rest of you remember, but remember back, I think into the first 6 weeks of this administration, they closed down the book that kept the sign-in book to the White House that they used to put out every day to tell who had been there and who hadn't been there, just to try to keep things transparent and on the up and up. Well, they got rid of that right away, and according to what they said on the news a couple of nights, it was the Kushners that got rid of that. The present now is the Two of Cups. Trump's trying to make a deal with somebody. There's a deal somebody's trying to make in the Trump administration between now and the end of the month. Maybe about this, since that's what I was reading on, was to see if this went to the Supreme Court. There's some kind of deal going on. I wonder if there's any money changing hands. Meanwhile, in the near future, right next to this death card, which might be a good idea. I always said I didn't want him to die in office. If they do, if he does, they'll make a martyr out of the son of a person. But in the future, it looks like somebody's taken to their bed, kind of paralyzed like. Hope that's with fear. I hope they realize that this is coming down on them and they're going through it. Whew. This is for Trump personally. Temperance. I don't think he's ever been temperance in his life. I think he's always, I want it now and I want it right now. But the cards are saying that's what he needs to be. And the things and people around him are the Chariot. So that means people are making some quick moves forward. I wonder if they're going to try to get rid of some of this information or shred it that they're asking for. Don't really see that in this card, but it's like the Chariot rushing forward. Maybe he's just forced to bring some more stuff up. From what I heard tonight, I guess they've got a secret deal coming up that he's going to declare like a one-man deal, like that national emergency that's going to make all new cars go up to $3,000. And he's going to say he has to do it for our safety. Something to do with this trade stuff. All cars coming in from any other country, where there's no such thing as any car from any country anymore. There's parts and parts of those cars made all over the world. It just doesn't work that way anymore. But he's trying to make that another separating point between people. His hopes and fears is the Ten of Cups. This is usually the happy American family. Is that in there? Yeah, it is. Is he afraid that the regular people and the families around the United States will figure out what he's trying to do and doing? Sometimes that's a card for the Republican Party. I don't think that is. I don't even think of them as a party anymore. They've got to be totally demented. Afraid that they haven't read the Beatitudes in a long, long time. And the outcome of this is the Seven of Coins. So by the end of this month, and since it's down here by the Hero planet, it could be our government going through his finances. They would never get the stuff from the White House, even if they subpoena it and go to the Supreme Court. They'd never get it done by the end of this month. It's only like 11 days away. But there's something going on there. That they're going back over their finances, looking at family money. Maybe trying to bury it. What are they doing with this family money? What are family money or records, or what are they doing with these? They're going back over them. They're should have put that out there since it fell out of there. They're going back through these records. What are they? I think this is records money. Let's see, tell what it is. Well, there's a wealthy. Oh, I think they're trying to false. Yeah, I think they're trying to cover up payments from wealthy merchants, from people all over the world that's been doing the play to pay. They're trying to figure out which records they need to get rid of to cover that up, and how they can cover up the money that's changed hands. Maybe falsify the records. We got Falsita here, the cat. We got the wealthy merchant. And put this card up here so it's on there. We got family money papers. Looking back over them, probably trying to bury them, not show the money coming in from the foreign countries and the wealthy merchants, trying to figure out how to come up with false records. Trying to get people in the White House to lie for them. But not everybody in there is going to lie for them, because not everybody in that White House is friends of theirs. There's the nemesis. It looks like somebody's going to sneak some of these records out of there. So don't be surprised if before the end of this month, and we're going to stop here, but don't be surprised if before the end of the month that people come out, that there's more information that's leaked out or sent out to the newspapers, or maybe just to Congress like they did last time from the White House. Since they're saying they're not going to let these papers out, don't be surprised if some of them show up in the media, or at least at Congress. So that's it for tonight. That's for the next 10 days. Sounds kind of out there, but most of his stuff is out there. So there's no reason to think these cards are not coming up like they should be. So thank you all, and thank you for participating. Thank you for watching the channel. But it is. It's happening. And people are so sick of hearing it that they're getting immune to it, and that's really scary, because if things didn't get turned around, our grandkids would never forgive us for getting immune to this. Never. We want them to grow up in a free country. We want them to grow up in a democracy. And we can't have somebody on top just defiling all the rules and spewing out hate. Because we know what happened in Germany last time that kind of stuff happened. It's got to be stopped.